The quality of our life is a direct reflection of the quality of decisions that we can make. A question that often gets asked is, how can we make better quality decisions? If you're someone who wants to get better at making better quality decisions, then you have to watch this video till the end. Have you ever found yourself thinking a lot about making a decision? It's a common problem that we all encounter, regardless of whether it is in an area of health, finances, relationships, work, or anything else. We sometimes think so much that we overthink and we start to get into a paralysis of analysis. What happens then is we start to focus more on why we cannot get something that we are desiring to, or why we don't deserve it in the first place. And that's what leads to a state of indecision. And when we can't make a decision, we all know what happens. We just procrastinate. We just sit on the fence and we just don't take any action. Now, if this sounds someone like you, then I urge you to stick with me, because I was in this state myself. Now, yes, I know this sounds crazy, that how can a doctor, a surgeon who has to make those decisions about life and death be in this situation? Friends, the word decision comes from the word incision. Incision means that to be able to cut something away. And that is what decision means. Decision is really when you're cutting out all the possibilities of failure out of your mind and saying that this is what I am going to go for. I would want to share a little bit of my personal story with you here. When I was a medical student, in the second year of medicine, we start going to the hospitals to actually go into the wards, into the operating theaters, into the hospital to see real patients. We are still learning things, but we have graduated from, just going for lectures and doing the experiments in the laboratory to actually going to the wards and seeing real patients. And when I was in the operating theater once with this surgeon who was, teaching us and then operating and then explaining to us how we do, why we do, I came across this very profound statement that he said, and he looked at me in my eye and he said, as surgeons, we fix people with art and science. The art is in our hands and the science is in our head. And you know what? That was the day, I still remember, that I made a decision that I want to be a surgeon. Because I wanted to help people, I wanted to serve people with art and the skill in my hands and the knowledge and the science in my head. And you know what? We all remember that one time when we made a decision to do something, and that was the day that shifted, everything shifted, I knew I was heading on this trajectory. And you know what? There are absolutely no regrets in what I do today. I just feel the sense of gratitude in being able to do what I do today. Same thing applies when patients come to see me for weight loss surgery. You see, they've gone through so much of research. They've gone through so much of diet, exercise, this program, that they are sick and tired, that they are at a point where they have made a decision that this is the path that they choose to go on, because they want to shift things for the long run. And I think, when you make this decision, I distinctly remember this one lady who came to see me. She was high up in the corporate sector. She had a very busy corporate life as well as a social life, because being where she was in the corporate sector, she had to entertain people. And she said, I am drinking 5 to 6 nights a day, entertaining people, and also On top of that, I'm eating out most of the time. She had developed fatty liver, her blood markers were off, especially with regards to insulin. She was just feeling tired, lethargic, and arthritis was beginning to set in. She was about to touch her 60s, and she said, you know what? I've made a decision. No more alcohol. I have to respect myself first. So the decision was to respect herself. And I personally think the art of making a decision is a skill. And this is a skill that can be learned if we know what are the tools that allow us to make a better decision. And in my view, in my limited experience, what I have learned is that before making any decision, reasons come first, and then comes the decision. You got to know why you are doing what you are doing. And I think personally, a lot of us, and I was in this state, that I would be making reactive decisions. By reactive, what do I mean? I mean decisions made out of lack, out of competition, or in the spirit of fear. That I want to be better than that person, so I need to get this car or this house or whatever material thing it may be. And you know what it does? It gives you only that momentary joy. So I was never asking, why am I doing what I'm doing? But there comes a point in everybody's life when life forces you to ask those questions of yourself. So I urge you to lean into that. And here are my 5 top tips to make excellent decisions in your life. They are interesting, but if you stick with me, you will see the reason why I suggest these. And I practice these myself because I would never share anything with anybody that I personally didn't believe in. So number 1 is ask and lean in. What do I mean by that? Number 1 is you got to ask yourself, what is it that you're wanting to make a decision on? And when you make a decision, or when you hypothesize that, yes, this is what I want to do, you got to lean in. How does it make you feel? Does it give you a sense of growth, a sense of expansion, a sense of possibility? Or does it leave you with a feeling of contraction, a feeling of being shrunk, and a feeling of being limited, as if, how could that be possible? So you got to lean into that feeling and then use that as a cue, as your body telling you that, you know what, go for something that makes you feel expanded, makes you feel abundant, makes you feel full of possibilities that things can happen for you. So that's my first tip. Second tip is optimize your gut health. Now, you would say, what's that got to do with my decision-making abilities? Well, the thing is that your gut is a seat of your intuition. It's not just an organ that digests food and creates poop. It actually is the seat of your metabolism, your endocrine system, but more importantly, it's got its own nervous system, which is called the enteric nervous system, which communicates with your brain. You know those gut feelings that you had when you met your first love, or those feelings of butterflies in the stomach and things like that? Well, your gut is giving you this intuition that, all right, go for it, or no, don't go there. So you got to lean into that feeling and develop that. Now, if you're having poor gut health, for example, people have irritable bowel syndrome, they have colitis, inflammation, and all of that in their gut. They've got so much food allergies and bloating. That's a sign of poor gut health. Poor gut health equates to poor intuition. Third thing, develop the art of journaling, putting down your thoughts on a piece of paper, and then you can see it from different angles and see what are the possibilities, what is the information that you're lacking that allows you to make a better quality decision. take a walk in nature. Walking in nature allows you to regather yourself, your faculties that are dormant. It allows you to see things that you're not seeing things. And this is something that has been a profound thing for me, because anytime that I would find myself in a low emotional state, I would say, you know what, I'm going to go out for a walk in the woods, put some light music on, or even don't put music on, just listen to the sound of the birds, the trees in the wind, and all those sort of things. And then the last thing, which you might find a little bit crazy, but hey, just hear me out. I love to get into a cold shower, even on winter mornings. The first thing that I do when I get into the shower is I turn it to the mixer tap, and then I just get into a cold shower. And you know what it does? It gives me that sense of complete reset. I just reset completely until, like, in a few minutes when the water turns into warm again, and then I make it into warm, and then I say, you know what? I've just developed a totally new insight. Try it out. If you find it useful, hey, keep it. If I have been doing it regularly for many years now, regardless of whether it's winters or summers, I just love the whole concept of how our own body has got the answers. Understand this, that the quality of your life is a brutal reflection of the quality of decisions that you are making. And I think the ability that we all have within us, it can be developed, and it is a total reflection of the trust that you have in yourself and the trust that you have in this universe, that you will be taken care of. And you know what? This is what allows an individual to overcome self-doubt. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do share it with your friends and family. Do subscribe to my channel, because it allows me to produce these videos and allows me to be of service.